It's the day we've all been waiting for. In the time we just can't make it on our own. Today we are going to be talking about the first generation Punch 75 that I just received that I'm going to put in my geo tracker. We're going to have some sound, my friends. So I put some of these little Scar tweeters up in my pillars right here, as you can see, and got them hooked up to the factory radio, which is a JVC double DIN radio, and I believe it puts out 22 watts per se per channel. And I have these little tweeters hooked up to some JVCs here in my dash. I'm sorry, not JVC, kicker. There's a little kickers down in here, and I'm telling you, just off the factory radio, it sounds pretty daggum good, man. And so I'm really curious to see what's going to happen whenever I run power to my tweeters and my JVC. Now, this is a little 4-channel amp by Sony. My intentions were to hook this up in the beginning to run my speakers in the back, which I have some Alpine 6x9s and some Alpine 6.5s back in the back. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end up running this Punch. I'm gonna end up running this Punch 75. This is the first generation, so this is probably 30 years old, and it looks, there's only was one owner. I know the guy, and so went to school with him. He had this still. This was in his old setup. He had bought, I want to say he bought this amp in 1986 or sometime around there, or 85, 86. And so this amp you can bridge. You can bridge this amp. And I don't think you can bridge the new Rockford Fosgates. I'm not 100% certain. I'm not a guy that does installation on these things, but this is it, man, and it looks fairly good. Now, I opened it up last night to see, because it had all this dust and whatnot down there, and I was like, oh man, you know, you can't have dust get in your pots or anything like that. So anyway, I cleaned it up a little bit and got all the dust off of it. But this is it, man, the Punch 75. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this to my 6x9s only in the back. I'm not going to try to bridge it and make it any more powerful than it is to push those 6x9s back there. But I will say, man, I'm thinking this is going to be plenty enough of clean power to make those little 6x9s awake and come alive, man. I'm just so freaking stoked that I found first generation Punch 75. Still works. At least I hope it still works. I haven't. I mean, like I say, the guy had it. He took it out of his car, and it's been in a controlled environment in his house all this time in a closet. So, you know, when I opened it up, man, everything looked clean inside. I mean, it just looked clean. I didn't see any burnt spots or anything like that that indicated that the amp could be not working. So this is what's going on. I'd have this baby hooked up right now, all this stuff, but my alternator on my geo tracker isn't that strong right now. And so I just ordered an alternator. It came in yesterday. I'm gonna put on a new alternator on my car. I'm gonna do the big 3 install on this, so you guys don't want to miss out on the installation of the amplifiers and the big 3 on the tiny Geo tracker. I'm going to be tricking out the Geo tracker, and one is getting my sound system really sounding great. Now I got to tell you, just the factory radio 22 watt sounds great on the 6x9s and the kicker in the dash and the Scar tweeters. Sounds great, man. I was rocking out and listening to some old AC/DC and some Rush and whatnot, just some old classic rock, just to see, you know, Mutt Lange did all the mixes of their stuff, and I know that anything that he produced sounds great, everything that he did. So that's why I've been using that as a reference, being that I like classic rock, to listen to my 6x9s. I got my EQ, I got my smiley face going on my EQ. I got it set pretty much for rock, and so it's gonna sound great, man, to hear what this sounds like. So you guys don't want to miss out, man. Hit that subscribe, hit that notification, so you know when I come on and I'm doing these videos on tricking out the tracker. You don't want to miss out, especially installing that punch, man. That punch is going to be the really deal. Now I'm probably going to put this under my seat. There are other places to put it in the back. I could put it in the back, but I really want to preserve my space back there in the back, and just put this underneath the driver's seat. And see, what's kind of strange, I'm going to show you something, is they've got this to where you can mount it. Now if you look at this like this, it's mountable to where it's pretty much upside down. Okay, and these little grids things right here is what's called a heat sink, and this is how the heat from the amplifier dissipates out to not burn everything up. And you can see right there, you see the pots in there and whatnot. Okay, so it makes more sense to mount it like this. Okay, if you mount the amplifier like this, then heat rises, and then the heat can dissipate out of these little fins right here as intended. But notice the letters and everything's upside down. You would have thought that they would have, you know, turned that around, being that they know the heat dissipates from the top, and they know that this is the way that it should be mounted for better results of dissipating the heat. But yet the lettering and everything is upside down. Kind of screwball-y, isn't it? But hey, the amp sounds great. It's bridgeable. It's, you know, first generation. It's over 30 years old, and I'm just stoked that I got it in my freaking hand. And it's going in the Geo tracker, right? It's gonna be pushing the 6x9s. And like I say, I'm gonna have this little Sony right here pushing my kickers in the dash, and the Sony 6.5s back here. Now I want to say something about the Alpine. These Alpine speakers right here, man. I bought these, and I bought the grills later on. And don't ever buy cheap grills with that smash on grill stuff. It never stays in, and you got to get the little screen just right, and it pops out. And I said, the hell with this, man. I'm taking this crap off. I'm tired of trying to deal with it, just to have the aesthetics looking right. So I took it off, man, and I'm gonna keep it like that, I think. So thanks for joining in, man. And also we're doing a lot of cool things, man. I don't know if I'm painting my truck over here. So I got it all primed up. I'm gonna be doing it outside. I'm gonna be doing the turbo paint on it. So I got it pretty slick, man. I mean, it's slick as a baby right now. And so I got all that. I'm gonna turbo paint that. I'm gonna turbo paint everything black over the top. You guys don't want to miss out on that video, man. I got some cool things going on over here, man, at R-Trib Studio, the Audio Master Show. So when I'm not in the studio recording music, as you guys know, everything I post on my YouTube channel is my original music, homebrewed in the studio. And it's just great, man. It's great. It's great to be alive in these crazy times. So you got to stay busy and do some cool things. But here's the hood. I'm actually going to paint the hood now. I got this side sanded down over here. It's almost where I want it to be. It's not there yet compared to this side. But enough with all that. We got the Geo Tracker, we got the Audio Master Show going on. Subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss out on the installation of the Punch and the Sony to hear how that sounds. I'm going to actually be playing my original music through it so I don't get any strikes. And I want you guys to hear it. So that's the only way around it, is put my original music in it and crank it up. We'll probably do something really nice for the sound, for a demo. And this is it, man, the Geo Tracker, 1995 Geo Tracker. Subscribe to the Audio Master Show, and we will see you later.